Welcome back, fellow travelers. We finally did it. We now know what it's like to sail with Disney Cruise Lines. We sailed on the Disney Magic out of the port of Galveston, and we have thoughts. Whether you're a Disney fan, a first-time cruiser, or just curious, we're breaking down our experience on board the Disney Magic. Stick around and find out if this is the cruise for you. Welcome back to Travel Tips and Recommendations presented by Jones Getaways. I'm Tommie.
And I'm back. I'm Nikki.
She is.
We are happily retired Army veterans, but now travel is a huge part of our life.
Facts. The Disney Magic. I was really excited to finally experience something Disney in real life. Because like most people, I grew up on Disney cartoons and movies, but I've never been to, like Disney World, Disneyland, nothing.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, sailed on the Disney Wonder over 20 years ago with our daughter, my sister, and our nephews.
Okay. What she says is true, which means this was a totally new experience for me and a blast from the past for her.
All right, blast.
So,
why did two grown empty nesters go on a Disney cruise? Because we are asked all the time about Disney. We live in a neighborhood full of families with young kids, so we wanted to experience the Disney Cruise Lines so we could come back and give a real perspective.
Yep. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Okay, our first impressions. 8-year-old Tommie was hype.
Yep.
I'm not ashamed. Now, usually we preach about arriving the night before a cruise to avoid feeling rushed. But this time we drove from San Antonio to the port of Galveston on boarding day. It was about a little over a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, just took our time.
And that included our regularly scheduled stop at Buc-ee's.
That's right.
Once we arrived in Galveston, we parked in Lot B, and shuttles, we caught a shuttle from Lot B to the actual ship. Shuttles run about every 15 minutes or so. Easy process. Disney has group boarding time, so pay attention to your assigned time for a smooth experience. At the port, we checked in, dropped our bags with the valet, and entered the building. We chose to use valet because luggage drop. We would have had to walk our luggage further down, and we didn't feel like walking our luggage to the drop-off point. So $5 made it all go away. All right. We entered the building, joined the security line, and made it through in about 20 minutes. Yeah. Easy peasy. Then upstairs to officially check in. At check-in, you can upgrade your cabin if you'd like. We tried, but no upgrades were available for us.
Yeah, I was really hoping we were able to get an upgrade, but we didn't.
Yeah.
But after check-in, we waited for our group boarding time, and off we went. So for those who have never sailed on Disney Cruise, you notice a difference immediately. Yeah. This is a family-focused cruise line. Yeah. So the little things like they're introducing your family as soon as you board the ship. It was so cute. We love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the
Jones family.
Yeah, the Jones family. There you go. Yeah, that was cute. I'll give you that.
But after you went past that, there was Disney everywhere. Our cabin was available as soon as we got on board, and so we went straight there. The luggage took a while for it to get to our rooms, but we kind of expected that. But that was because we got on the ship so quick.
Yeah.
We stayed in an ocean view cabin. The cabin was nice, but instead of a balcony, which we normally get, we had a huge porthole to look out of. The bed was soft, and there was a sofa bed. There was a sofa that a fold-out bed.
Right.
Yeah. So the cabin had a small TV, which was mounted with an extendable arm, so you can move the TV to watch it clearly from anywhere in the cabin.
Right.
There were 2 separate bathroom spaces. One has a toilet and sink, which was Tommie's side.
Go figure.
And mine was a side. Well, you asked me which one I wanted.
Yeah.
So
go figure.
And so my side was the bathtub shower combo and a sink. So if you're 5'8", the shower is a perfect fit.
Yeah.
If you're above 5'8", not so much.
Not so much.
He had a problem.
At anyway. And at 4 p.m. on the nose, you attend a mandatory muster drill. So plan your time accordingly. Muster is designated by an alphabetical letter. And each group, that designated leader presents to you how to react through the sirens and what your reaction should be. You know, they tell you how to put on your life vest, which you don't have to bring to the muster. And they talk about the other safety, for instance, getting on the actual safety ships, the tenders.
Boats, yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
And it's mandatory.
And it's mandatory, and it's something simple that you have to go through. But once you're finished, there's a cluster of people all over the place trying to get
ready to start
wherever they're going.
So with the cruise, this was a short cruise, the 2 days at sea and one at port. We saw a lot of parents having absolute blast while their kids were, busy with the youth clubs.
Detained.
Disney's youth program is amazing. They keep the kids entertained, which means the parents can sneak off and enjoy the ship's adult-only spaces guilt-free.
And they keep them all day.
And you see the parents walking around with their drinks because, they're adults.
Absolutely.
And they can do what they want to do because they have no kids around. Right. So, but the adult spaces, so when you enter in these spaces, it really felt like it was a different world. It's a whole different vibe. There's a lounge called the Keys Piano Lounge. It's 18 and up.
And guess what? There's a piano player playing music.
That's right. The bartenders were great. The drinks were fantastic. They also have an adult-only pool area, which was amazing because when you walked into that whole area, it really felt like you were on a completely different ship. It was calm and quiet.
I mean, seriously, you leave the area where the kids are noisy.
Yeah.
And then once you walk past that point,
the threshold,
it felt like you're on another ship.
Yeah, it was very calm. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Now, my favorite part, the food. Now, we were pleasantly surprised by the flavor in the food. Yes. So Disney assigned you to a restaurant every night, giving you a rotating restaurant format. So every night you switch to a new dining venue, but your same wait staff follows you through your rotation, which is a great touch.
They got a chance to learn what you liked at every meal. So really appreciated that.
And I will admit that if you don't show, they're a little saddened because they don't get to have that time with
they
you.
Set the placements for you to be there, so if you don't,
they feel like they don't know you. Right? But that being said, we didn't come with children, as we talked about, and we shared our table with another couple that was without kids. We're not 100% sure if that was planned by Disney because we didn't have kids. If it is, and we're going to verify, that's a nice touch.
I'm pretty sure it was, because how would you feel if you got on a ship and you're at dinner and you don't have kids with you, but you're sitting at a table full of kids? It wouldn't be a pleasant experience. So I really do think that was planned. So we appreciate that for Disney.
Agreed. And on the Disney Magic, there was only one specialty dining restaurant, Paolo. It's an Italian restaurant. It's highly rated and recommended by everybody we talked to before we went on this ship. But we missed our chance because, we were sleepy.
We told y'all we drove in that day, so we took the time to take a nap.
Judge all you want, but we took a nap. Which leads us to room service, because by the time we got up and was ready to eat something, room service was right there. It's complimentary, but know that water, soda, and specialty coffees cost extra in your cabin.
Because this was a short 4-day cruise, so only one port of call, which was Progreso, Mexico, which was our first time there. So as soon as you step off the ship, you have to prepare for the hard selling vendors, because they are coming at you left and right as you're walking through the little area. They have your typical cruise souvenirs available, but if you want something more than that, you walk through the shopping area and take a free shuttle into town. It's about a 20-minute ride and drops you near a small market just 2 blocks from the beach. Now, the beach was decent. I'm not going to down it. It was decent. Plenty of spots to rent an umbrella and chairs, but the sand and water is really not the best that we've seen. But I will admit, we did see the families having a great time. So for the kids, this was amazing.
And when we say best we haven't seen is, when you get used to going to Turks and Caicos and seeing that white sand with the beautiful blue, clear water. You sort of get
a little snobbish about it. You know?
So don't make it sound like that Progressive's beaches were horrible.
Yeah.
They just weren't that white sand, clear, super clear water we were expecting.
Yeah, that's true.
So sea days, of course, is when you get an opportunity to really see the ship. And on board, there are lots and lots and lots of entertaining things to do.
Yep.
There's plenty of Disney shows. We're talking official Disney shows that are performed at their parks, and they rotate the talent.
Broadway type shows.
Broadway type shows. They rotate the talent, and they're very well done. And just walking around, you get the opportunity to see. I got to see Goofy. I got to see Mickey. I got to see Donald Duck. You know,
yeah, you
got
did.
to hang out with some of my peeps. You know what I mean? But I just have 2 words for you, and these 2 words will save your Disney life.
Oh man!
You ready?
What's that?
Pirates Night.
Y'all.
It's a real thing. And it's huge. I'm talking little bitty babies.
From the babies to the 80s.
To the 80s. I'm talking people walking around with hooks on their hand. I'm talking the
with
full
dirt face.
Pirates of the Caribbean outfits, full blown.
Pirate mode.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What's most amazing is the depth of some of the outfits.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the fact that 90% of the customers are dressed up.
The guests,
right?
Yeah,
the guests. So, but it's on the second night of the cruise, and like I said, it's full on pirate mode. And
but they do leave a little 2
scarves
in your cabin.
room.
So if you didn't come prepared, they do kind of have you. Kind of prepare you for it, so you can don your.
At least have
something,
head.
So you're not all the way out the water.
And we left ours in the room. Yeah. So when we went to dinner and we started to see what Pirate Night is, Nikki quickly we went back and she put hers on, right? But I was slipping.
Yeah.
And Captain Jack Sparrow made an appearance, and it's a whole vibe. That night is just.
You definitely get a chance to get your inner child out.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun.
And
it was fun to see that.
Who don't want to be a pirate?
Yeah. But also, don't forget, we did get to see Captain America: Brave New World for free. On the Walt Disney, in the Walt Disney Theater.
That's
on
true.
board.
And speaking of entertainment, we did get to see that the first week it was out. Now, I'm going a little rant here, but Disney owns Marvel. And Marvel's world premiere, we're talking hundreds, millions of dollars, right? So my surprise, we watched it in the Walt Disney Theater. And so my expectation, seeing this movie on board the Disney ship, that the sound system would be up to par with the expectations of that movie. I'm talking the center, I'm talking the front, the sides, the backs, I'm talking the Dolby Atmos. It didn't have that. It was still a great movie. I really enjoyed that movie. But I was I must admit, a little disappointed that the sound, being a sound junkie, that the sound was not up to the level that I thought it should be.
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
I agree. Even though I'm not into it as much as you, but I do think that it should have been a little better sound quality.
Yeah. I was thrown off.
Yeah. So, who is this particular cruise for? Families with younger kids, 13 and under, grandparents sailing with grandkids, first-time cruisers. The shorter itinerary and smaller ship make it a great starter cruise, but the smaller ships equals more movement in rough waters. So if you're prone to seasickness, be prepared.
It's true. Can I give some tips to the people?
Please do.
All right, we got some tips for you. Tip number 1, kids plus cruise equals bring your medicine.
Yep.
Be ready.
What we did find out later on, as we were going to dinner that the kids kind of started dwindling out because poor things, they were sick, and then the parents that did come to dinner, they didn't look very happy either.
Yeah, we're not talking breakout. We're just talking about
just the kids were just getting sick though.
Yeah, the transference of germs is a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. So make sure that you bring your meds that are required. There's hand sanitizer all over the ship, and there's cleaning stations. So it's something that you can fight, but just be prepared for it.
Right.
Tip number 2, pack light. It was a short cruise for us, and there was no need to overpack. Specifically, since we were adults with no children, we didn't have to worry about all of these super theme nights, so we didn't have to overpack. Easy thing. Right? Tip number 3, driving to Galveston. The quicker you reserve, the earlier you reserve parking, the closer you are to the port.
Yeah.
So just take that into consideration. From every extended lot you go to, there are shuttles, so it's no problem. But I'll tell you, getting off the ship
much better,
and wanting to get to your car and go, the shuttles were a lot slower picking us up from the ship than they were dropping us off to the ship.
Yeah.
And it was chilly when we got there, so it was kind
waiting
of
in the line for
there.
maybe about 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Once we got off the ship, which was a smooth process to get to disembark.
Yeah.
But then we also had to wait for the shuttle. So do yourself a favor and reserve your parking soon as you book your cruise. The earlier you book, then the better you are.
Yeah. And don't forget that the shuttle has only taken 16 to 20 people per. So that's why it took a little while for the rotation.
Yeah.
All right. Tip number 4. Like I said, pirate night is a serious thing.
Yeah.
And when I say go all out, there is not going to be a chance in the world that you're going to out pirate somebody on that ship, because the commitment of the ages was impressive.
Real.
So going all out is okay.
I love seeing the families with the little baby. So the husband, wife, and then the baby.
Oh, pirates.
I mean, it was too cute. Too cute. Loved it.
Tip number 5, let your guard down and have fun. I mean, think about it. It's what you grew up on come to life.
Yeah.
You get to see Mickey. Yes, I skipped with Goofy. I ain't saying. Yes, I gave Mickey a hug. I ain't saying. I took a picture
Goofy.
with. I gave Goofy a hug. I put my arm around Mickey. What was the hair?
Smoldered.
Yeah, I smoldered. You know, don't be afraid to just
All the things.
Let yourself be a kid, right? Especially if you're bringing kids. Be prepared to go on Disney and just
get involved
fall
with
into
them.
the fun. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, and that, good people, is our Disney Magic Cruise review. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and comment below. And also let us know, have you ever been on a Disney cruise before? And if so, talk about it. But also, is Disney cruise on your bucket list?
And if you are thinking about booking a Disney cruise, hit us up at Jones Getaways. We'll make your trip as magical as possible. And now we know what it feels like to be a part of the Disney family.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.